It's time for trigger warning.
Trigger warning! Fuck your feelings, you little snowflake. Triggerwarning.tv.
How dare you?
Hello and welcome to Trigger Warning. No, I don't have a fucking clue what's going on.
I'm not sure the chat's up either, to be honest.
I don't know what's
all
going on.
All I'm seeing is a big white screen. What's going on with you, Aidan?
The fucked if I know.
I'm dead happy today. I found a bag of hats which included this one. Although it's the wrong hat now, isn't it? Now it's Keep America Great. So I'm like, I'm all 2016 up in here, man.
I'm in a
shocking
fucking mood. I don't want any part of this shit.
Yeah.
Just in a generally bad fucking mood. I'm sick to death of isolation, helping old people. I've had enough.
Yeah,
Hour
you're not
and
the only
25
one, man.
minutes my son was playing the drums on fucking paint pots today. And I can't go to the tip.
I know. Yeah, that's definitely a thing for you, isn't it? Like you've been mentioning it daily.
Can't go at the fucking tip. Can't go. They won't let me. And finally, they told me why today. They said the police had shut one down in a nearby area.
What?
I need to go to the tip, Graham. I need to go to the tip. I can't keep sitting in Tesco's car park for half an hour to get my sanity. I need to throw some bags of shit in the tip. I don't ask for much out of fucking life.
I don't know, like, you know, whether it's misunderstanding or social media exaggerating the inconsistencies, because obviously a lot of people don't know what they're doing right now. But the police seem to be a little bit more heavy-handed than I would have thought. You know, like they seem to be really fucking going for it. And I get it. Usually legislation like this takes months or years to come in, so they're ready for it. So they're all just doing it off the bat. But shit like closing tips down, and I saw a pub had been, obviously it's been shut now, so they were selling off all the stock. And they were doing it by delivery. So you literally just order the pub and they bring you, you know, whatever, bottles of wine, bottles of beer. And that got shut down because the police insisted on sort of keeping an eye on everything, being there physically. And they felt guilty because the police should be doing other things. But it's like, well, why were the police there in the first place? Why do they feel the need, you know? But what exactly are they protecting?
Chasing people around the fucking hills.
I know, yeah, with fucking drones.
You're in the arsehole of fucking nowhere. I could understand if there was 10,000 people, but you're in the arsehole of nowhere. Meanwhile, I've got some tit in fucking sports clothing sneezing down my fucking neck in the supermarket. That's fine. But go for a walk on the fucking hill, some prick's chasing you with a drone telling you to go.
I know, yeah. Literally walking the dog. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm in the middle of nowhere, mate. I think we're safe.
Just fucking bastards. They're just doing it to give me the shit. And fucking clapping. Now, you know, I appreciate the shit out of the NHS, but the government tells me to clap outside my fucking house. Are you kidding me? And last night was the best. I was trying to watch a Star Wars film with my son. And we were upstairs, we had the movie on. It was going, they always going to do fireworks. He said, well, what's going on? I said, people are clapping for the NHS. And he just went, oh, there's always something.
I showed her so, and genuinely, she's had a bad week, man. She's had a hard week. Mostly because it's just prep. It's just stress prep. You know, the wave hasn't hit yet. But I was like, the clapping for you, darling. She was like, so.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, because I would have preferred it if like Corbyn and Boris hadn't have gone out and been photographed and all that. I would have preferred if it was like genuinely just something people were doing and wanted to do rather than like...
This came from the government. This came from the government. Yeah, let's go out and clap for the NHS, you know. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see it started.
Sure
I just saw
I assume it did. I've decided it did.
I just saw the thing going around, the picture, like, let's show our support and all that. I mean, it was kind of sweet. I heard the kids up there doing it, but I wasn't really asked. It wasn't like in London. In the videos in London, where people were going nuts. Then again, London's totally on its ass, isn't it? They've got
Around
temporary
here,
morgues.
there is someone that lives near me who works on the coronavirus ward.
Oh, really?
And of course, it's funny, isn't it? I respect the shit out of them, and I know there's vulnerable people, and I've been playing by the rules. I've been distancing, all these things, only buying when I've had to get stuff. I get it, okay? I do get it. But today, two kids were outside on the bicycle. I think they were brother and sister. They were riding up and down the street. So there was a post on the Facebook group. Get your kids home. Ugh. So I walked my son. I walked my son round the block.
Yeah.
It's got to get out. Oh, if you'd seen what I'd seen, you keep your kids home. It's not safe. And the more I'm told to fucking do something, this is the problem. I'm a prick. I'm a fucking arsehole. And the minute people start getting a little bit high and mighty, and then I start remembering all the other problems I've had where they, like when posting videos of me son knocking apples out of a tree. Youngsters have got no respect these days. And I start losing my temper. And it's like, well,
this is why, yeah.
The exercise is going to last for 2 hours in future.
This is the problem with isolation, and this is why when they all showed those graphs, like, this is what happens if we do nothing, this is what happens if we totally lock down, this is what happens if we self-isolate, and the curves and everyone was like, flatten the curve, you fucking wanker, everyone. But none of them looked past, like, all these flattened bits here just have a big peak further on, because a populace can't go 3 months. They can't last 3 months inside. It sends them loop. Even China, there's riots in China now.
Oh yeah, they're turning the virus is coming back and stuff. Yeah, of course. Because
they're just like, they're like, fuck this. I mean, God knows what the real death tolls are there. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? They expelled all the foreign journalists, and then the very next day, the death rate just Wuhan, they were like 0. Like they actually had the brass balls to go for it and just go 0, none. We've sorted it. Like, really? We had a couple foreigners though.
I'm fucking sick of it, and it just makes it harder when you have these sanctimonious people. It's like, yeah, I know there's teenagers going out, because you know what? There's gonna be teenagers going out. There's nothing you can fucking do about the rude pricks coughing in people's faces, because there's no fucking police. So do you know what? Don't keep moaning, because you're making it worse. You're making it intolerable for me. And it makes me want to not do the things that I should be doing.
And the thing is, as well, all this shaming of specific individuals, like the drone footage was insane. How do you have the time to do that? How? And what problem are they causing? But there was a I saw another one up there where, it was out in the country, where they are, and it was a woman taking a picture of a car, an empty van, so it could have been anyone's, could have been one or a family or whoever, and just was like, look at this. But it's like, bitch, you're there as well. You're there taking a picture of them going, look at this. And it's like, what? Why are you allowed to be there, but not like, look, if someone wants to go and sit in a fucking hill in the middle of nowhere, I don't give a fuck.
What harm are they doing?
They're not going to do anything to anyone, really. There is a slight issue when it is just people ramming into those narrow, like in the High Peak, those narrow little touristy locations. But people have been sharing pictures of car parks with like 5 cars in and going, look, five fucking cars. And ultimately, as a society, as a culture, this is probably going to go on for a long time, and more people are going to be like, is there any point to this? Why are we doing this? This is bullshit. And if people are acting like Stasi informant arseholes, they're gonna put an end to it way quicker than they expected, because there'll just be a rebellion.
Of course,
it's always about riot control.
Well, there has to be. That's the thing. It's getting a bit fucking much. Now, I'm all for staying in. We've got to do what we've got to do, because we do have to keep trying to kick that spike as far down the road towards the summer as we can. I get that, but you're going to have to meet people halfway. you're going to have to meet people halfway now. I mean, there's things that are going to happen. I've noticed like the amount of people on these like local groups. Look at these bastards panic buying. Look at these pricks going out. It's like, statistically, a good portion of you doing this right now are the fuckers that were doing that as well.
Yeah.
Get off your high horse. And then the ignorance I bumped into. Someone saying, well, if people don't want to isolate, they shouldn't have to. How can they affect people if they're not ill? What? Do you watch the news? Well, it's nonsense because viruses are lighter than air and can float for miles. Are you fucking mental? Are you completely fucking mental? So, of course, I am now in a local group with some guy saying, when this is all finished, I'm going to meet you and kick your head in. No, you're not, you dickhead, because you'll be fucking dead.
Soph was out today. Someone started shouting at a third person who was wearing a mask and going, "What are you doing, you knobhead? It's not airborne." And then went to Sophie because, he obviously saw her NHS stuff and went, "Isn't it?" And she was like, "Yeah, it is. Of course it's airborne. It survives in the air for 3 fucking hours." And but he's just down at the local supermarket just shouting at people for wearing masks as if that's going to help anything. It's like it's the stereotype that's given you of a Brexit or a Trump supporter, isn't it? Just down there going, "What are you doing, you idiots?" And it's like, oh, for God's sake. It's like when you. Yeah, I know. He probably, apart from the person he was shouting at, because he was just, imagine shouting at someone for wearing a mask. Can you imagine?
Can I imagine shouting at people in general?
I know, yeah, just telling people off in public. Someone did that with me once. I was on the bus and I was rolling a cig, and I literally, in my own little world, rolling the cig before I get off the bus, because obviously you don't want to stand there in the wind and the rain. You want to just get off and go, "Oh yeah, nice." And it's just some dude went nuts at me. "If you dare like that," and I was like, mate, I was just rolling it. Look, I'm just rolling it. And he's like, I'm like in the middle on the bottom deck. It's not like I'm hiding at the top there and I'm like looking around. I'm like in a packed bus full of people, bottom deck like that, just happily rolling. And he just lost. I don't know who the fuck he thought I was, but he was like, "It's one rule for you and another for the rest of us, isn't it? I fucking hate it." And I'm just like, "Oh, mate. Bring it down, please." Bless him.
Well, I did see today that the police are saying that they really hope, really hope that we police each other.
Yeah,
because that's what I want. I want my local neighbourhood watch policing me, because that leads to community cohesion. I'm going to put some flyers out when all this is done and say, we've come through it. Now, could we carry these isolation things on just a bit longer locally? In the next 2-3 fucking years, please.
This is how what you look at, like Nazis and communism and all that, and Pol Pot and all that bullshit, and people are always saying, "Oh, imagine what you would do if the fascists took over," and ultimately it's those same cunts, because they're all over Twitter now just dobbing people in. They're the exact people who support these regimes, and look how quickly, just instantly at the drop of the dime, people are reporting anonymously. Like, it's so ridiculously open to abuse, like to actually report to the police. I mean, Jesus, man. Like, I've seen big groups of kids in our park here, but ultimately, like, the police must know about it. You can report it to the council in a general sense. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to be fucking him at number 17. That bastard went out twice today. Fuck off.
Well, the other thing I want to know
is how it happens.
I want to know. I noticed when we were going around, we've got Junior, but he's like, he's got the inline skates, so we went around the block a few times, middle of the road, and I noticed a few people throwing the disapproving glances, and it's like, I'm sure you've been shopping. We're walking down the middle of the street. It's not going to pounce. It's not lying everywhere. Plus, the fact he's probably had it, been done with it, and we've not even fucking known.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm not letting him go up and hug old people. I don't do that as a matter of course anyway. I've got my son reasonably well trained not to run up and hug strangers, so I don't think he's about to start now that everyone's dying of the drippy Chinese cough. It's not going to happen.
I'm too scared to go outside because even mine's just so bad for just grabbing people and hugging them and like licking her elbows and stuff. She'll just be walking along going, yeah, and I'm too scared to take her outside because just for my own calm, I can't. It wouldn't be any kind of relaxing walk
No,
or anything like
Junior's
that.
been
It'd be
good, but today I
fucking
had to
nightmare.
take him out. I had to take him out. I had
Yeah,
to. It'd
no,
been
I get
enough.
that.
I needed to go out, and he needed to go out. I mean, the back garden's not enough.
No,
It's
I
not
get you.
enough, and so tomorrow we're going to go
Yeah.
for a walk down the fields.
I mean, I tried that. Yeah, we were timing laps round and stuff, and yeah, we need to go out tomorrow as well, which is annoying because it's Saturday and everyone's going to be fucking out. Everyone's going to be doing the same thing, and it's just going to be that. It's the stress of it. It's the stress of it. Because I was thinking about that, man. Like obviously it doesn't affect people my age as much. It doesn't affect people her age as much either, but there is a chance she could get it and die. And while she's alone in hospital dying from it, I'll just be thinking, oh, did I really need to walk her through the park on Saturday?
Yeah,
Like
but to
I'll
be
just
fair, Graham, you could bring that in if
yeah.
you could bring that in from shopping. Soap
Yeah,
could
no,
bring
I
it in
know,
from
I
work.
know, I know.
It can just, there's nothing you can do. Now, I'm not
I
suggesting you
guess it's
should tell her
more.
to go out and rub people in her face,
No,
but, there comes a point where you've got to
Yeah,
draw,
well,
your line
it's
and say it's this
it's
or
yeah.
this.
It's like compartmentalizing it because for me, it's like, well, I have to go to the shop. I have to. I need food. No choice. I need to compartmentalize it. Like, well, we have to go further afield for exercise because we have to. Just in a less immediately tangible effect, way kind of thing. Like, it's just for a sanity thing, isn't it? Although the cleaning's going good. That's how I found my MAGA hat. I feel bad for all my low key accusations that Soph threw it out when we moved house. She didn't. She's just terrible at packing.
Nothing wrong with being suspicious. Just before we crack on, we've got to say hello to a few people. Let's see, we got
Yes, yeah, there's a lot.
Rick Kerr, who I get the impression thinks it's all a load of bollocks and you should go out. I'm not sure. Ben Sevilla, we got Farley here. We got Last Dance. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Greg Topple, good to see you too, fella. Happy Dog, not so great to see you, but you'll do. Who else we got? Gorgeous George Begonia, Sutty's Rehab, Cup of Tea, Dunk Naylor, and we got Paul, we've got Alan, we got quite a few in tonight. If I've missed you out, I am terribly sorry, but I can't just read them all night. But it's great to see so many of you guys in here. Do you know I've got problems? I've got my folks locked away in the flat. Well, my dad has to go out twice a week. They dropped it to twice a week for his dialysis, so he has to go out. Finally, I've been taking shopping up for them. I leave it at the front door. I then go around the back of their apartment. I talk to them through the window for a bit, and then off I go. So today, my dad's was in having dialysis. So I spoke to my mum. How you doing? How's everything? She said, fine. I've been good. I've only been out for some bread and a few bits. Like, you what? So I've been on bread and a few bits. So I was just in and out. And I had to explain the whole thing again. And in the end, I had to say something terrible, which was, I'd say, like, in the next couple of weeks, there's going to be that many people that have this, that if Dad gets it, they will leave him to die. They won't treat him, they won't intubate him, they won't do any of those things. They will leave him to die because they'll have to. And so maybe it's best that you just let me keep bringing you the stuff you need. Go out for a walk around, the grounds of the apartments. That's fine, but don't go to shops and things. Try and stay in. She's 83 in a couple of months. Just chill out. Say, Last Dance says dialysis is usually 3 times a week. It is here, but at the moment, anyone that is capable, they believe, of only having 2 a week, they're knocking down because pandemic. By the way, Soph says she's great at packing, dickhead.
Oh, is that why you... Oh, right, okay. Fine.
Dickhead. You're a dickhead.
I don't think so, man. I think there was...
She thinks so.
I'm not reliving that horrible weekend, thank you very much. I'm not going there. I'm not fucking going there.
Lips in. There we go. Hello, Aphid Lip.
If I'm gonna get angry about something, it's gonna be about something relevant and appropriate, not that shocking behaviour. It's
Apparently, I
interesting
didn't
though,
say hello to. Sorry, I didn't say hello to Fat Belly or Kenny Ballbag.
Sorry, mate.
Kenny and Mrs. Ballbag are in. Cherry's isolating, I guess. I've not heard from him. I guess he's okay.
I don't know. Yeah, he's not in. He's got internet though, hasn't he? Why has he not been joining? He's not been coming in.
Oh, dude,
I mean, he could probably
didn't
come
even
on
know
this.
we'd done any. He doesn't watch this fucking show.
Yeah, no, he just likes it in person. But he started coming because he watched the show. So I don't know where we are with him now.
He likes hanging out.
Yeah, just likes hanging out. Well, Cherry, if you do happen to watch this randomly, drop us a comment on the YouTube, mate. Go, hiya. And there is a thing with this, and I know I am getting frustrated with the isolation, and I'm getting frustrated with cutting off from people, and I know that I almost, it's very unlikely I would be the victim of it if I got it. I might get very ill. There's a chance I've already had it. Apparently, there's and we don't know this yet, but apparently very, very early on there was 2 strains. And this is why you might not show symptoms, is because one of them is just basically a flu kind of deal, and then the other one is the really bad killer one, which apparently went through America, which is why a lot of people in America are saying they got really, really ill around January, very late December and stuff. A lot of people, and I'm thinking, is that the shit I had? Because you remember how sick I was?
Yeah.
Really sick. Like, I've never known anything like that before. Like, that's exactly that feeling. So yeah, I'm not worried about that. But then I read the stories about, if you do get this, it's very, very likely that you're going to die alone. If you are going to die, if you are going to, and that's, to me, that's the thing that I keep sort of clinging on to when my daughter's, because my daughter knows, she's repeating something obviously that a teacher said. She keeps saying, "Oh, that coronavirus is going round," and I'm like, "That's not you. That's not how you talk. But whatever. She's into it, but she really wants to get out there now and start exploring and seeing her friends again and stuff. And I just keep thinking, us going out might mean someone dying alone, and it fucks me head up, man. It really fucks me head up. There's a lot of bad deaths, It's not, it's not a way to go for anyone, regardless of the pain.
I don't think there's any good way of going, really, is there?
No, but you could, at least have the chance to say goodbye. With this shit, you might not even get that, because you might be sick in bed for 3 days before the NHS even deem you ill enough to bring you in, And there's been a lot of people just struggling to be sort of taken seriously, and I can see why. There's a hell of a lot of people who are going to be very, very ill but get better, and it's not worth bringing them in and infecting everyone on the way and all that shit. As horrible as it is. If you look at the stats for it's almost like claiming for insurance. They're always going to say no the first time you ring up. They're always going to say no, and that's kind of the approach the NHS seems to be taking, because every single person phoning up or getting in touch is saying, "I'm very ill," and they're like, "We're sure you are," but you kind of have to keep harassing them, unless you're the Prime Minister, obviously. He gets a test straight away.
I've actually seen people complaining that the Prime Minister of Great Britain was given a test. Yeah. It's like, of course he was.
I only knew because he's the PM or he's the Prime Minister was trending on Twitter. And I was like, what the fuck is all this about? Because every day it's been like Boris the Butcher and Genocide Boris and all this shit. And it was because so many people were replying with the phrase, "Because he's the Prime Minister." Why does he get a test? What? And it's like, because he's more important than you.
Yeah, he's the Prime Minister. I'm sorry, guys. He's running the country right now, and it's kind of good to know if he's capable of doing. Sorry, that's subjective, isn't it? At least if his health will allow him to do what he's supposed to do, it's a good idea. I'm more interested in when they're going to have the test ready. Not that tells you if you got it, tells you if you've had it. That's the one I like. I think that's the most important one, because having, the one that says you've got it, it doesn't pick up sometimes if you're not terribly symptomatic, and everything like
exactly.
Rick Kerr, who is again being rather predictable. Says 98% of people live such a bad pandemic. Dude, what's 2% of 65 million? Do the math.
You don't know that. You don't know that number at all.
No,
you
it's
don't know
bollocks.
that 98% live.
He's
You don't
pulled
know
it
that.
out
And
of
here's
his
the thing.
ass.
Yeah, you've just totally made that up. Right, because the problem is that, the death rate is low. I think for me, I checked it, it was 0.03. That's the death rate for my age group, not taking into account the fact that I smoke like a chimney. Probably adds a few percent to it for me. The death rate comes not by the lethality of the virus itself. The death rate comes with the overwhelming of hospitals. That's why in Italy it went up to 1 in 10.
They're not thinking that because, like, Germany's got no deaths or whatever.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
because they're
yeah.
not recording. We record any death with COVID-19 as a death from COVID-19 in this country. So no matter what you die of, if you have COVID-19, it's recorded as that. In Germany, they don't record it as that. Furthermore, the death rate on people over 70 is over 14% based on the shit figures we have. So I think to say 98% of people survive is based on figures where even the most trusting of scientists and statisticians are very unsure about this. I realise, Rick, you'll run with that because it goes with the narrative you want, just as people on the other side will run with that. We're not here being alarmist. This is shit that kills people. In case you haven't noticed, death rates in Italy have gone through the roof. And there's something else that folks that are doing that it's just the flu don't take into account. People are still dying of the flu. People are dying of cancer, emphysema, whatever you want. And here's the thing, once the hospitals are overwhelmed, even more of those people will die. It won't
that's
just be
what it is.
COVID-19.
That's what it is.
Cancer patients will not get the treatment they need because the hospitals are overwhelmed. Congestive heart failure, all that good stuff. Mortality rates for that is going to go up as well. That's why leaving this thing unchecked for it'll be right, just lock the old people away. People don't realise it has no lesser, in fact, possibly greater financial and sociological implications than locking us away to try and just slow the shit down until there is a vaccine. A vaccine which I imagine Rick Kerr probably won't want to take. I'll take it. I'll have his. I'll have 2.
Oh, I'll have it, man. My lungs are fucked anyway. I need all the help I can get. Jesus Christ. I'll take the first experimental one. No, I wouldn't actually. I probably would have done if I wasn't a dad. Oh, do you know what though? Do you know what? I gotta say this, man. Like, I finally got my head around structuring her day today because I've got these impulses to be like, let's have fun. And no, it was really strictly written out by the hour. And by the end of the day, she was cuddling me on the couch and I love you, Daddy. And then Soph got in and Soph was like, she's really lovey today. And I was like, I think that's because I actually was a bit more of a dad today and a bit stricter and a bit more like she was comfortable in her own head rather than it just being like, we're off school, yeah.
Well, we decided the first week, the first week, which we're coming to an end of now.
Yeah.
Just so we could adjust, we wanted to be really kind of, hands off on the learning and stuff like that. I just thought,
that's what I've been doing.
I'm not taking him out of school. Just stop pounding his head with fucking schoolwork. His world's been turned upside down. 7-year-olds are just nightmares at the best of times. So why not let him just chill out into it? And I think because of that, it's been less stressful. Rick, we've read the fucking website, but I've also read that the mortality rate of people over 70 is over 14%. Dude, stop. We get it. 98% of people live great. What's 2% of the global fucking population? It's a pandemic. Play it down all you want. If it makes you feel better and not so shit yourself in the middle of the night, that's fine. Tell yourself it's the fucking flu. Whatever it takes, dude. Just, rock out with your cock out.
That reminds me, I've not seen this myself, so it's secondhand, but apparently a lot of people have been buying, essentially printer paper, like till roll paper, because of the toilet paper shortage. And leaving like bad reviews on Amazon and stuff, saying this is crap. And it's like, yeah, because you bought fucking till roll, dickhead.
Shiny.
Just ooh, like the stuff you used to have at school when you were little. Do you remember that?
Hazel paper, wasn't it? Was it Hazel? Something like that. Basically, greaseproof paper. Non-absorbent toilet paper.
Yeah, what was the point, man? Oh man, I'm so glad. I'm so glad we've got the padded niceness that we've got now, man.
Triple quilted.
I just had a text. Apparently, Bernie's on Twitch. Bernie fucking Sanders.
Poor confused old
wheeled
man.
him out.
What games is he playing?
I don't know.
Is it Animal Crossing?
I'm going to check this out after this.
It's got to be Animal. No, it'll be Doom Eternal, won't it?
He's probably going. Rah, rah, rah. Well, did you see there's certain groups of people in America, because this stimulus package is finally going through. You know, everyone's going to get the $1,200 and all the loans to save businesses and all the rest of it. And like Bernie did an amendment on it, and you know, like. And they're ignoring the fact that hundreds of people worked on this, like high-level senators from both parties, like the president, everyone, 24/7 were ramming this through, negotiating it, all the bullshit. Like, and you know, American politics moves slow, man. Everything gets blocked. And then Bernie got like one fucking amendment in there, and people are acting like he's just saved America. And it's so ridiculous, like how like, you know, narrow. It's like the horse, isn't it, with the blinkers on? They look at the little bit where he stood up and gave his little speech and everything, and just went, "You fucking did it, Bernie." And it's like, mate, calm down. You know, yeah, he's been fighting on the side of the stimulus, but they treat him as if he's. It's just that it's that low resolution good guy and bad guy thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like there's that good guy being good. Oh, he should have got the nomination. He should be getting it. It's like, fuck off, man. Fuck off. Everyone's
giving it to a confused old man that likes it when his leg hair's played with.
Have you seen the op-eds where they're like, "Please don't die, Joe"? you're the only like halfway popular Democrat right now. For some reason, that's the best they can do, and they're just like, "Don't die, mate." And he comes on the news and he's just there going. And he actually licked his fingers the other day. Have you seen that interview where he was licking his fingers? He's just sat there going. whilst answering questions completely incoherently, like it just didn't make any sense at all. I'm just like, oh mate, Jesus, no.
Just a poor confused old man. Should let him go home, for fuck's sake.
I hope whatever's America is doing, because right now it is fucking up over there. The numbers are rocketing. And it's that thing you were talking about at the top of the show with that fuck you attitude. You know, the more someone tells you not to do something, that's basically like the blueprint for American society. So it's going to spread quickly there, because there's that, nah, don't tread on me and all that.
Overtaking Italy is some fucking achievement. Not China. Don't anyone believe for a single second you've come even close to China's actual numbers. Jesus.
Bullshit. Oh, yeah, they're just rioting for nothing, aren't they? Of course, yeah, nothing's going on. It's all sorted. But, yeah, I hope they get it sorted, man, because if we don't get Trump versus Biden debates, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be so pissed.
Superb, won't it?
I've been looking forward to it, like, all year, man. All fucking year. It's been, like, my main, you know... And our election, you can fuck off if you think we're not going to the studio in November. Fuck off.
Oh, no,
election
we'll be there
special time, mate.
Oh, yeah, we'll be there for that.
The good thing about America is they don't have the same rules there. You know, like in the UK, do you remember our election special? Obviously, I know you know, Aidan, but when the exit polls, you're not allowed to discuss them in the media. It's like a sealed thing. So it isn't until the second that the polls close that then they can show the predictions. But in America, they just do it all day. They just don't. Like, there's no, you know, it's just a free speech thing, isn't it? They're not. I
was really happy during our election special of the fact that we came on air just as the exit polls came out, and it was awesome.
My point is, because they can talk about the polls, it means that even though it won't be rock solid, we can have a nice time without staying up till 5 a.m. Because we'll actually have some data to deal with.
Yeah, I'm not.
We'll have to see how
I'm not being in the studio till 5 a.m. I don't give a fuck what it is. You know, I wouldn't do that if there was a meteor on the way. You know what I mean? Just fucking get home and get in. Oh,
Just get the kettle on. Oh, Aiden, it's really beating you up, isn't it? You need it, dude. I didn't send you a picture. You know, I cleared out the wardrobe area. I'm really happy with it. Really happy with it.
well, the Mrs. Hewitt's been decorating Junior's
give me a
room.
lift. Yeah,
I haven't.
it's what you got to do, man.
No,
It's what you got to do to
I've
stay
been working,
sane.
or should I say, trying to work. It's
Yeah.
made incredibly difficult just by shouting, screaming, drumming. Just fucking.
You can't do it, can you? You can't.
I might have to go into the studio on my own. The building's closed now anyway. So I might I might just have to make my excuses and go down there. Although I can't imagine that being the most popular choice I've ever made, to be honest with you. Look, love, you've done really well, but yeah, it's all closed. So, nobody's in.
So even at like the worst case scenarios, bar those falsified, like badly reported data from the ferries, then even by the worst case stuff, then by the time next Thursday rolls around, very, very little chance of any SARS-2 lingering around the studio. We could rock up.
Feasibly.
It's just a coffin bike ride through the city centre. I'll have a great time.
Say, Farley's just said at Happy Dog you're allowed to go to and from a place of work. So I know you wouldn't understand that, but it is what the rest of us can do. Farley says, Hayden looks tired, poor man, what a crazy way to make a living. Building websites, doing videos and graphics and shit isn't that crazy. I'm just tired because I was very ill up until last week. I don't mean like seriously, but I was poorly. I came and did this every night. I was poorly, and I've not stopped since. And you know, we've had 2 nights off, I think, and I'm still knackered because I've not stopped.
I think
just
that's
did
it for
work
me.
instead.
I think, to be honest, it's probably not Red Bull I've had as well. It's just in about 45 minutes, I'm just going to go fuck off, fuck everyone. What else have I got?
Oh, Happy Dog, just fucking report me, you cunt. Be done with it. Fuck off.
Go on.
Do it.
You know
It'll
what time
for
we're down
video.
there.
You know where it is.
You know where it is.
Yeah. Just fucking do it.
Go on, do it. Do it. I don't give a shit.
Oh, Farley, there's no rest for me, dude. I'm grabbing whatever work I can. Like everybody else, I've watched business go boom.
Yeah. Well, there is the thing now, isn't there, where, you know, you if you're self-employed, you can get help, but it's probably not going to hit until June.
After looking into it, the giveaway in this country, there's for everybody. There's so many strings attached. It's just the best thing I can do is work through it without it.
Yeah, it's one of them, innit? And I get where they're coming from, because like you could have like set up your own, you know, bead like bracelet business 3 months ago, sold 3 to family members, and then just be going, I am self-employed. Where's my $2,500 a month?
Yeah.
So I get that they've done that. I think 3 years might be a little bit too much. I don't know why they've done it, but the issue is that there are going to be people, because I know some people are like, oh, I've been in business a year and a half, but I didn't make any profit last year, and it's like, well, you know, well then you're not really self-employed. You're just a person that's in a shitload of debt, chasing a dream, aren't you? There's not like I get where you're coming from, but
it depends on the business. It depends on the business.
It does.
Some businesses remain that way for a couple of years while people get things kicked over. I've been there myself. But the main point for me is it's like no money had come through till June anyway. And the hours I would spend trying to beg this money off the government, I would rather grab all the little bits and pieces of work that I can grab, maybe make a little less. But come June, I'll be in exactly the same position, and I won't have them hanging out my ass. You know, I don't want, if I don't have to, I don't want to go to the government.
I think that's kind of that's the route they've taken. People were hoping for like a UBI style situation, but the route they've taken is like, you know, because obviously the 3-month beader who's declaring they're self-employed, what they're going to do, they're going to have to go on universal credit, which at the moment has queues of literally thousands of people, like thousands and thousands.
Dude,
did you see?
I know somebody who went on it the other night.
Mm.
I'll tell you who later because it's nobody else's business.
Yeah, no, I get you.
He was around the 40,000 in the queue.
Yeah, yeah.
Another
I
person I
did.
know who
Yeah.
was just talking about his business, so he wasn't trying to go on universal credit. He was going about his business.
Mm.
Started off at 25,000, went away for a couple of hours, came back, and he was at 60,000.
It's
So the
this.
way I see it,
Yeah,
if I can carry on taking care of myself, my family, grabbing all these little bits of work here, there, and everywhere, the worst that can happen is I'm a bit tired. Come June, July, when the restrictions do start lifting a little,
mm.
work will come back in. There'll be more filming work. I think once there is an effective treatment, because I think the vaccine's going to take longer, but I think an effective treatment, then to a vaccine, we'll see a mini boom before we go into the long depression of paying off the stimulus that nobody will have seen any benefit from anyway. But there's going to be a little mini boom. So I'd rather get into that without having governmental debt. You know,
Yeah, no, yeah,
and this
I totally agree,
deferring your
man.
tax, all you're doing is putting your bankruptcy off for a few months.
Yeah,
Don't
well,
do it.
that the tax deferring thing, that I think that's the idea, isn't it? Because the idea is if you're self-employed, around this time of the year, you should have a few grand in your accounts ready to pay taxes. That's the plan. That's how it works. You know, if you're working and if you're genuinely doing your own taxes and not putting money aside, then and I think that's kind of what their thing is. They're like, look, we've extended the tax thing to July or whatever, but don't worry, we're going to give you this money in June. So I think their hope is that people spend their tax savings, but that is a fucking terrifying
Yeah, you
prospect,
spend your
isn't it?
tax savings, and come January, February, March, April, whenever they defer it till, they'll go, right, we need that now. But you'll have been building your business back up from it being on the bones of its arse and you being on universal credit. You won't have
Yeah.
it. They'll put you out of
Well,
business.
I think the idea is those people don't go on universal credit because they're just like, right, well, I'll just spend the taxes, and then once they know that they're going to get the money in June. But here's the problem, man. This is
Most small
fucking big
businesses don't
government.
have like 5 and 10 grand.
Yeah, but they're not going to know as well, though. They're not going to know that they're going to be getting that money as well. That's the thing, because at the moment they're just waiting to be contacted. This was the argument for just stimulus payments, similar
Yeah.
to what they've done in America, because all right, I get that they've done it where they've tried to reduce the red tape as much as possible, but it's still there. 40,000 people queued up for on the universal credit line. It's just what the fuck are you supposed to do with all that? You can't process that.
Yeah.
I really do think, like I said the other day, £700, £1,000, just fucking give it to people.
Yeah.
Just give it to them. Just fucking do it, and just let people just breathe a little bit. Some people are going to take the piss. They're not going to need it, but let's hope that enough of them end up volunteering or helping out or helping the neighbors or helping their family, so that overall it balances out. Because people always take the piss, always.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? I don't know. Dude, have you seen America's unemployment? Some people are saying, "Well done, Trump," but have you seen the graph? And it looks like an accident because it's just like the unemployment figures.
Jesus, yeah,
not the unemployment
that new spike
when
makes
it goes.
previous ones look like a flat line.
Yeah. It's
So
just
real.
It makes it look like the whole, depending how you plot it, it's just like it's there's just two numbers, 0 and 1.
Yeah.
Just like, what was it, 3 point something million? Fucking insane.
Aren't they just off the percentages? They're not a million miles away from the percentages of the Great Depression, are they?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, which is why they're doing the stimulus. It's just to sort of
That's
keep
why,
people
when
limping on.
Trump keeps saying, "Oh, we should open Easter Sunday. It'll be lovely." That's why I don't think in any way he has any idea in his mind that that's possible. I think he's just trying to avoid panic, trying to stop the stocks fucking the market crashing. So yeah, April, because at least it's better to have that hope there and then miss the target than take away all hope whatsoever. Because we've seen how the markets and people react to being told the truth. They don't like it. They don't like it at all.
No, 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 no. And people don't realize, and reporters don't take the responsibility seriously enough that, what Boris is doing, what Trump's doing, what leaders are doing all across the world right now is trying to keep riots and looting and crime and panic to a minimum. And when Boris does his daily speeches, he can't stand there and say, "I'm trying to keep riots to a minimum," because the second he says anything even close to that all the media is just going to write the word riot everywhere, and that very fucking night they'll be out in the streets doing it. So he knows that. The journalists know that. Anyone that's giving it any reasonable amount of thought knows that. But then they're like, "Well, why are you dancing around things? Why are you doing this?" Like, I'm with Trump. Why are you trying to give people hope? And it's like, oh wait, what?
He's got no choice. They've got no choice whatsoever. Like I say, the markets react like terrified old women.
Yeah, of course.
And so do the population. Yeah. So if he says Easter weekend, it chills people out until then, all the better. All the better. So what?
Yeah. The one thing I know, and I've not been in it because it's like 1,000 pages long or whatever. The one thing I did like about the Trump stimulus, that in terms of the loans for businesses, to sort of keep them afloat and keep people on payroll, that there seemed to be an element to it where if after a certain amount of time everyone was still on the payroll, some of or all of the loan would be written off, which to me seemed like a great thing. It's like, this is a loan, but if you actually do keep people paid, so they've still got their health insurance, they're still feeding their families, it becomes a grant kind of thing. And I thought that was a good idea. Let's see if it actually works out. But it's a nice thing.
That it's going to cost every family, if they get the 2 and then the 4 trillion. Listen to me throwing trillion out like it's going to cost every family in America something like nearly $70,000.
Yeah.
Before interest, from borrowing it from the imaginary bank.
Well, this is where they get into the side of things where people are like genuinely saying, "Why the fuck are we doing?" Like, is this not an overreaction kind of thing? And I get where they're coming from. I get where they're coming from, because these things are happening and the hospitals are filling up anyway. So that I can see where people are looking at it and going, "What the fuck are we doing? We're gonna put ourselves in debt for the next 10, 15, 20 years."
Well, I wanted to get Crib Daddy on tonight, as you know, but I think Donovan's had to take a break. I think he's all finding it a bit much at the minute, because I've seen a lot of people. I wouldn't mind getting Drone Tech on. Not that he's been a particular exponent of this, but a lot of people saying, "Well, look, maybe we should let the 2.5 million people die and all that." And I quite fancied getting Donovan on, so I could say, "Here's one of the 2.5 million." And he is. I mean, if he got that infection, it will kill him. 100%. 100%.
Oh,
yeah,
of course. Him. Yeah.
So I would like to say hello to one of the 2.5 million, because whilst logically I understand, I think it's very important we do put faces to these figures and tell them that they're less important than the economy, even though you have no way of quantifying that the economy will not be smashed to shit by this, regardless of what we do.
I don't think anyone can know. Nobody can know one way or the other.
The way I see it, I'd rather err on the fact of trying. For all this shit I came up with at the start of the show, I'd rather err on the side of trying to prevent deaths. That's what our economy is for. That's what our society is for. It's not just to make people richer. It's in times of desperate need. We don't all die. We save as many people as we can, and that's the way I look at it. So yeah, I mean, 2 trillion, 6 trillion, it's an obscene amount of money. It's fucking insane. But how many millions of people will it prevent dying? What is the price of a human life? Now, I've seen some people say, well, it'll mostly be the non-productive members of society, which quite frankly made my fucking skin crawl, because it is genuinely one step away from calling people Untermensch. It's like, well, if we don't need them, do we really need the Jews? And we know where that goes. We know where that fucking attitude goes very, very quickly when you dehumanize people. So I do have an issue with that. It's all I'm going to say, well, it's just, it's logical. Yeah, all right. Well, you go and smother that cripple. Go do it. And wait for the flu. You take care of business. You take care of fucking business. It's a tough one. It's a very tough one because, at what point do we do it? At the point where we think we can save people. Yes, people die of the flu. Yes, a lot of people die from smoking-related diseases, from car crashes. But we quantify that into everyday life. This is an extra added fucking bonus. And in case anyone hasn't noticed, everyone talks about SARS and swine flu and how deadly were. They weren't nearly as fucking virulent as this. Not even close to as virulent as this disease.
Like, I get it. I get where people come from, where they're like, right, yeah, every 2 years you give us some new fucking mystery disease to shit ourselves about. And, the same thing happened with Ebola. Like, just last year, constantly, like, Ebola's coming, and it didn't. So I get it where people are kind of, like, fatigued with the bullshit and the clickbait. I get it. But this actually has happened, and it has arrived. You know what I mean? It's already, like... It's not some distant thing where a load of dirty fuckers have sort of killed themselves and thousands of people around them, but it's all been walled off, and we can read about it on the news and all that. This is here now. It's ripping up London, it's ripping up New York. Fucking California is going to be boned very, very soon, just in time for the royals to arrive, or the ex-royals as they are. They're moving to LA, aren't they? And it's like it is here now, and I'm trusting like, because even in terms of the death rates, and I get you, like, because when you say economy, you're not just talking about stocks and shares and that. You're talking about the system that keeps food on the shelves, the system that keeps medicine actually arriving at hospitals, and gets the ventilators made in the first place. That all comes from the economy. It's like this huge balancing house of cards thing, and I get the thing of like, well, let's not break it, and yeah, let's not. But like, it all goes back to that overcrowding in the hospitals. We've seen it over and over again, city after city. There's just the hospitals just get so astonishingly overwhelmed that everything does just shut the fuck down. Everything shuts down. There's no one can do anything. So, I get it, but I'd rather there was healthy people inside and trying to work from home, and some people going to work. I'd rather it was what we're doing now.
Yeah.
As much as people are hating on it, it doesn't seem that bad, Or as Richie says, I don't think it's a psyop, man. Who the fuck is that organised? Who's this organised? Are you fucking insane?
It's to usher in and to get us used to a police state. In Cup of Tea, I believe the mosques are shut down, actually. I believe they are. All churches.
Oh, I've seen
mosques,
a few people
temples.
saying they're not. I don't really care if they are around. If they're just gonna fucking open up and do that, then they're all gonna die, aren't they? Those fucking dumb motherfuckers want to do that. Let them do it. Same with people going to church. Same with people going everywhere.
Well, let's be fair. The church closed down themselves, didn't they? Which shows a distinct lack of faith, in my opinion. Well, it's just it's like, your God was the Almighty, all powerful. Would He not save His people?
There's plagues in the Bible, man. It ain't like it depends on the religious person you talk to, innit?
The plagues in the Bible were not for the chosen people, though, were they?
Oh, here we go, back on the chosen people.
It could be anyone. Usually, but it could be anyone. Whoever wrote the book is the chosen people. Why isn't Jesus protecting the Christians?
Hey?
Why isn't Jesus protecting the Christians? And there's no point in that. We all know who the Nazi is here, dude. Everyone knows it's not me. Crip Daddy will back me up on that.
I'm sure he will. He's an arsehole. But yeah, Last Dance is saying some churches have stayed open. And there's one school called, like, is that like Liberty or something? It's just reopened. They've just gone, fuck it. They've already reopened. They're already like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And I think that was a religious sort of linked school. Then again, they have different standards for that in America, don't they? They're just like the amount of churches.
For daddy.
Oh, I couldn't
Stay
believe the
pure.
size of them as well. Like churches here are just like falling down, basically. Like for the most part, they're
They
either
all need the roof
crumbling church.
repaired. They all need the
Yeah,
roof repaired.
or a lot of the more popular ones are basically just souped up porter cabins, aren't they? They're not really, the ones that actually people actually go
Oh,
to.
we don't have mega churches here. No, we don't have that.
We
Not
don't have
one.
to.
Not
I
one
couldn't
vicar brings
believe
a
it.
helicopter to fucking work.
Mate, when I
No.
was in Texas, the size of some of them, and it was like it was like one mega church, and I'd be like, well, that must serve everyone. And it's like, no, there was a few more on the same road. I'm just like,
That's because
jeez.
Jesus loves capitalism, dude.
He loves it. Jesus loves
Jesus
America.
is
Hey,
just all about. He needs money so bad. Does Jesus?
I only just saw this because it was in a different website and it was a different language, but they were thanking a UK company for sending rapid test kits for coronavirus. This was Bahrain. They went to, and yeah, thousands of 10-minute self-testing kits made for COVID-19. And guess what? Not a single one of them was made for this country. Not a single one of them. We are literally exporting right now. Whilst France is holding on to our stuff and not allowing it in here, we're exporting testing kits right now, which is just like, yeah, that sounds like the Tories. That sounds like the fucking Tories.
I say, Daz
Like,
says I was quoting George Carlin. If I was, it was subconscious, but I can live with that. Quoting the great man
yeah,
himself. I
man.
wonder what he'd make of this. I wonder what
Oh
he'd make
God.
of this.
Well, he'd just be. He did. The woke crew wouldn't allow him, would they? They wouldn't.
No, he'd be
He'd just be on
cancelled
Joe
now, wouldn't he?
Rogan every other week. Yeah, I mean, he'd be doing all right, but you got to think with Carlin. Carlin was huge at like students and touring universities and all that. He was huge with kids, man. They fucking loved it. They loved the fact that like, yeah, he was a feminist. He said himself, I'm a feminist, but he'd still get up there and rip him a new one. He'd rip the bullshit of it up, and well, you can't do that nowadays. Not if it's
No,
your team. No,
no,
no, no,
it's
no,
just
no.
not allowed. It's just not allowed, and people will behave.
Yeah.
All I can hope is society gets some kind of fucking reset from all this. Well, the only thing I see is an increased adoption in remote working and online
Yeah.
services and delivery services. I had vape juice delivered the other day. If you're in Manchester, by the way, it was from Puff Mart. As the juice master himself, he'll come around your house with the quality gear, the good gear.
What was the name of that place again, by the way?
Puff Mart.
Puff Mart.
Yeah, and in Levenshulme, I believe. Very, very good. You'll find them on Facebook. No delivery charge either. I get no kickbacks for this plug. But I like the guy, I like us. So, yeah, he turned up outside my house with a little bag with all my goods in. Made me feel young again. Only the bags used to contain different things when I was younger. But when I got there, he kind of stuck his elbow out of the car. And for a minute, I was very confused. Because I don't do the elbow bumpy thing. I don't get it. But I did the elbow bump, Graham. I did the elbow bump. Probably the most unconvincing boomerish elbow bump in the history of elbow bumps. But I did. It was probably very English and awkward. Vaguely embarrassed. Yes, elbows, marvelous. But I did it. Did an elbow bump. Have you done an elbow bump yet? Have you?
No, man. No,
Oh,
no.
very...
Dude, I've been isolating. Like, I way before we were told to. I was like, because I didn't want to get ourselves sick, so I was very much like, take her to school, bring her back. That's fucking it. Like, in fact, I kind of liked the to and from school was like, we'd go through a bit of the part that doesn't go to the playground, because this was before they closed the playground. I was like, you're not going on there. No fucking way are you touching all that metal and plastic. But no, I've certainly not like dealt with anyone. No. But
You need
I
to do an
usually have
elbow
that.
bump. When I see you, we'll elbow bump.
Yeah, we'll do it for Instagram. But that biking mask that I usually wear.
Yeah.
When on a Thursday, I've been wearing that quite a bit. So people are just like, ooh, because I'm just like fucking, I'm gonna wear this.
I was
it.
thinking about
I've got
taking
it.
my my son's Kylo Ren mask to Tesco's.
Oh yeah.
Has a voice
That's a
changer
great
in
idea.
it as well. It's a voice changer as well. So I might give that a go.
That'd be so
I might try
good.
that. I think a Bane mask would be so helpful, wouldn't it?
Oh, I'd love a Bane mask right now.
Imagine just
You
in
could actually...
Tesco's. Could you tell me where are the strawberries? Where are all
Still
the eggs?
Aphid, I'm glad your wife likes my girly headphones. They are actually they've got all stickers on them. Look.
Oh, I played a game. I played a game today for half an hour. Last Dance says in 2 months we'll have great tests, more understanding of the disease dynamics, maybe some treatments, maybe even a vaccine. I believe we'll be on the way to a vaccine. I believe the treatments will be coming through soon, and we will certainly have a greater understanding of the disease. Maybe if more people had learned what a virus is as well, because people are talking about it like it's bacteria, and it's not. A virus is not a living thing. Antibacterial hand gel, no point. It's foam that rubs the fat layer off the virus, and then the virus degrades. Alcohol makes it degrade from the inside out. It's just got it's this little cell with fat around it. Basically, it's not a living, breathing thing. I think more knowledge, more understanding is the key. And yes, there will be treatments, and it will still be with us for at least a year or two, but obviously not with the same impact, especially once there's a treatment. And at some point a vaccine will turn up, which I can't wait to talk to Richie about. I can't wait to talk to Richie about that.
I love it. I've loved seeing him just slowly building up, and he's going, I love it. He's just, it's a psyop. It's like, mate, just...
Well, the totalitarianism of forced vaccination, I obviously told Richie it was definitely going to happen. Richie did say he's willing to come on the show next week, depending how he feels.
That'd be awesome.
So I think it'd be really cool to get him on. We'll get StreamYard up and running, and we'll get him on, and that'll be fantastic. And hopefully after next week, we can start doing some more of that. I'm thinking towards the end of next week, I can start work on the app.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
The Android app for trigger warnings, to be able to get trigger warning radio, because I want to start doing more stuff through that if I can as well. If you don't have Android, I'm going to rework the website so there's a much more mobile friendly version of it, carrying all the same stuff that you can just add to your homepage. There'll be a button there, so if you're on iOS or Android, you'll be able to take trigger warning everywhere with you. And we're just going to try and kick it up a notch, and we're going to try and do shows with more people on. Like I said, I did want Donovan on, but I think he's feeling a bit overwhelmed at the minute.
I get that, man. I get that. I've had my moments this week where, and in fact, last Friday was my worst. I think you've got no excuse,
though. He has. You need to just man up a little bit, to be
honest
with you.
No. Obviously not. No, because someone else has it worse. So
yeah.
I'm not allowed to feel bad at all. Ever.
Well, you are. But what you see, what it is, you're allowed to feel bad, Graham. A man-to-man chat. Think of me as Uncle Hayden. You're allowed to feel bad, but you mustn't let anyone else know.
Well,
because you have your toxic masculine privilege, and you must employ it whenever possible. So when anyone says, "How are you doing?" you go, "All right." Now, sorry, I just heard a funny noise. Now, if it's me, you can tell me, and I'll always give you a call and see how you're doing. That's fine.
Yeah.
But for everybody else, Graham, you're going to have to man it up a little bit. Just alpha up.
Well, I wasn't here going, this is a really vital part of my daughter's development.
So, I came on and did a stream when I was at my worst. Yeah. So, it's time to alpha up. It's time to show these people that you're not a pussy. And you're not.
Oh,
you're a strong, wonderful man.
I don't need to hear this.
You're a very good person. You're a fantastic father. You're a very good, if slightly disappointing partner.
I'm not going to argue with that.
It's time to be all you can be, Graham.
It's factually accurate.
It's time to man the fuck up.
Mm.
You know, it
I've been
really
trying,
is. Good. Now that we've had
But,
that chat, let's not do that chat again. We've done that now.
I didn't ask for that chat. I wasn't wanting that chat. I was saying
I'm here
it's
for you.
okay.
I'm here for you. It's all right.
Here we go.
Only the once.
I gotta say though, this is so frustrating because you've just been layering on the bullshit. But the whole thing about Twitter not being real life, and like whilst all the wankers on there are going on about like everything's wrong, everything's bad, everything that anyone does to try and help is bad and racist and ableist and all that bullshit, right? I'm so glad that that's a little bubble cut off, because just overnight, when they asked for volunteers officially for the NHS, we had 500,000 people overnight. I don't even know what the number is. The last time I looked now, they the very next day after asking for 250,000, they upped it to 750,000, and I'm sure they've smashed that already. And that made me very, very happy, because whilst there's a load of wankers on here just going,
we always hear about the worst,
people.
But we always hear about the worst. The kids coughing at people in the streets, the scroats fighting with security guards. I mean, the one near me, there was a woman who had a baby in a pushchair with her, swearing at the security guard and spitting at him. Those are the people we focus on. But the truth is, there's more good than bad in most places in the world. And people are inherently, I believe, inherently better than what we're usually exposed to. So when they ask for volunteers, and knocking on for 1 million people now, 1 million people said, you know what, all right, yeah, I'm there for you. It's fucking awesome.
They're not like, oh, we isolated too early, too late. Why didn't they order these things at this time and blah, blah, blah. They're not doing any of that. They're just like, right, what do you need? What can I do? Because that's what you fucking need. You can't, like, I know, man, I've run big builds on films where, and the person that fucks it all up is the one that's like, right, well, this is what's happening now. And it's like, no, man, you've got to be a cog. We can take it on. We can take stuff, what you're saying, on board. But, you know, you're doing your job, which then leads to someone else and someone else. And there's 6 people after you. So if you stop and start going, oh, is this? No, you just need to do that, man. Make the little round peg. Make the little round peg, because that's going to save a life in 2 weeks' time. And I love the fact that there's enough people just going, yeah, I'll do that.
Look at the shit online over Dyson.
Yeah.
Dyson said, I will produce these top quality, yes, not tested yet, but these will be the shit. These will be the fucking business. They'll be incredibly reasonable, you know, cost, all that shit. Their follow-back pro-Europe people are climbing all over his fucking nuts. Nothing's ever good enough for the Twitter people. You know, nothing's ever fucking good enough, no matter what you do, what you say. I mean, we know that in general, everyone wants everything to run the way they'd like it, but it's scandalous online. It's fucking ridiculous.
I can't do it. I can't go on. I mean, I get enough shite off you, and these lot.
I don't give you any shit, dude. I'm very supportive of you.
Yeah, you are actually. Yeah, he's been phoning me a lot. He's been taking care of me, actually.
Don't be telling people. Don't be telling people that I'm fucking give a fuck. Don't be doing that.
Hayden, is it you? Oh, mate.
As it happens.
No. I was just washing my face.
Well, it's like when you missed a show and I came on and did that one. You didn't believe that. I just told everyone that you were really stressed, needed a break, and it's all right. Graham thought I was sat here fucking tearing into, but then he realised there's no fun in that for me. It's only fun when he's sat there and starts explaining himself.
Yeah, my head was fucked, man. Because you know what it's like. 4 is none of the education at 4 is sitting there being told how to do something. It's all social. It's all learning how to be friends with people and all that. And it was just like all these things that I've learned. Not that I'm like dead anal about it, but all these things I've learned about child development to try and be a good dad was just like, right, well, this is going to be impossible for you now. You know, I nearly put her in because of the key worker thing.
Yeah.
I nearly put her back at school, but then I was like, no, because then who knows? Yeah, it's that constant stressing then, isn't it? What if she brings something home and it ends up getting on Soph, and Soph ends up getting it on everyone else?
No, the easy answer is we stay at home every day. We go slowly fucking mental, Until finally we're doing a live stream where we smeared our own shit all over our own faces.
I know. Dude, being player 2 on Animal Crossing is fucking killing me.
That's what I was going to tell you. You know, I've banned Fortnite in the house again. Banned Fortnite because he had a bit too long on that, and his mates. He's got this friend in Canada that he's made on there. Really cracking lad called Jackson. Lives on the west coast of Florida. When he plays with him, he can play for. I mean, we don't let him play for hours on end, but he can play even for a couple hours at this point, and everything's fine. Great, lovely, polite kid. The minute he talks to the kids he knows at school, it just turns into an arsehole. So I've just said, right, that's fucking it. He said, well, can I watch YouTube? After the argument, I argued with a 7-year-old. He said, can I watch YouTube? I said, no, you're not swapping one idiot box for another. It's not happening. But for the foreseeable, that's over with now. So I thought, but I still want him to have games to chill out on. So I was looking for the Battle Royale games, and I downloaded Call of Duty Warzone.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Free to play. Get on it. Don't know if Junior likes it or not, but I'm very taken with it. So I had a little game of that today.
PlayStation?
It's PS4, Xbox, and PC. It's free.
I might have a look.
It looks really cool, so hopefully I'll get a bit of time to do that. I still want to do a stream of Arizona Sunshine on VR, but it's just finding the time, because I know we wanted to do some streams that weren't about what's going on in the world, certainly weren't about coronavirus, not talking politics, just fucking about, because part of this, guys, for those that don't watch regularly and watching now, isn't just to do a trigger warning show every night. It's so that we can all just hang out and you guys can chat and just, that little place you can go to talk about this shit, and it doesn't have to be important. It's just a place to be. Graham did a couple of streams during the day playing some kind of beta male fucking pedo game. Badly, it has to be said. You went very high-pitched, dude. You did go very high-pitched.
It was scary.
Oh,
you don't know. You don't know. And you know what? Yeah, I failed with that.
You've not played Arizona Sunshine, where they fucking come running at you and they're the same size as you and they get right in your face.
Yeah.
I find those games very stressful.
I'm going to try, especially Fat Belly, because Fat Belly was really, really cool hanging out with you during the day and stuff. I'm going to try and stream games soon, but it's been really, really hard. It's just with my daughter needing attention. And then at the night time, like if we're off and I'm not streaming with Hayden, I'm asleep by like 8 o'clock. I'm just gone.
Well, I think what we should do when we start pacing ourselves, because let's face it, this is going on for the foreseeable. And we're going to try and stream as many nights as we can, and days, whatever. But sometimes we will just kick back, we'll go in a game. Because it's great when we play a game, anybody that ends up on a team with Graham and I, don't stay on the team with Graham and I for some reason.
No, because we're just doing a podcast. We just do a podcast in the game. I mean, we could do that, though.
Let's be fair.
We could just be playing and streaming, though, can't we? Quite easily.
Because you remember in what was one? Battlefield?
Yeah.
Battlefield, wasn't it? We were very unpopular in that game. People didn't like us.
Which was bullshit, man.
Because we got so excited by it. In fact,
that's the thing.
I got told off by Mrs. Hewitt quite often for shouting and being really loud.
That's why I've not been doing VR at night, because I know I'm going to be, I've got the headphones on, shit's going to be happening, I'm going to be screaming, and I'm going to be there making all the noise. I won't even be able to hear the, Daddy, what's this? Dad, you'll be able to hear it, not me, because I'll be there going, ah! With the full-blown fucking noise in my ears.
Well, it was that time I was playing GTA 5 as Trevor, and I was slaughtering a lot of people. And I just happened to turn around, and there was my little son looking through the banisters at 2 a.m. It's, God, at least I wasn't beating prostitutes to death.
I know. But what about one of those ones where he's obviously just shagged someone and he's got a dildo and he's just slapping it down and you're there going, yes, murder time. His tiny little brain's just going, taking it all in.
Well, you've got to learn about the world sometime. But dude, download Warzone. Yeah. Download Warzone, and we'll team up in that. We'll teach all those people how real gamers take care of business.
Let me get that up now. We've added a few people as well, haven't we, on the old PlayStation?
I don't know. I'm on PC with it, but I guess I could install it on the PS4.
Well, just for I'm not gonna be out of PC game with you, man. Not with this piece of shit. Well, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I can stream off it, so I might be able to get something going. I play games on it, but I've never even tried any good games, to be honest. I just play like Theme Hospital and just basic shit that doesn't.
Apparently, what I do is just get games for it. Never get to play them. Down the right side of my screen, it's just games, but they're all like largely unplayed. It's quite depressing. It's quite sad. I just need a bit of time. But as you know, things have been last 12 or 18 months have been fucking mental. So when things settle down again.
Yeah. I don't get to game that much. I get to watch PewDiePie playing games with my daughter because she sort of lies on me and just gets all relaxed whilst he's going blah blah blah.
Oh God,
boop, boop, boop.
I did play some Fortnite with my lad. I still do on occasion. Not at the moment, obviously, because as I pointed out, it is banned in Hewitt Towers. But I've got to say, the first time we got a victory royale together on duos, it was kind of special. It was like, dude, high fives all round. I was on the PC. He was sat next to me on the Switch. High fives all round. And now I played it the other day with him and his friend. Basically, they just carried me. They just carried me. We won as a squad. But I ended that game on my hands and fucking knees, crawling around the place like I'd lost my contact lens. So
just him saying, "Yeah, that's me dad." They're like, "Yeah, we get it.
Where's he going now? As I wander off, confused. And just
what mine's been playing? Mine's been playing that Sonic Mania. And it's like a proper old school 2D Sonic game. And I've been having the weirdest emotions because I used to play that when I must have been like 8, asking for Sonic 2, and all that. And it's so weird watching her and hearing the sound effects. And I just watch her play it and just see a little face jumping, and I love it. I really love it.
He still likes some of the retro stuff. He's got the mini snares, and all those things. And I get emulators from time to time. He does still enjoy those, but his main thing was becoming just Fortnite. So that's another reason I put a stop to it. It was just too much, just Fortnite. And when I've joined games, with him and his mates and listened, it was like, this is just stupid. I mean, I know even at my most idiotic, I was much older than him, but playing Counter-Strike, around the turn of the millennium and shit or whatever, I've still never heard such fucking idiocy.
Yeah,
but that's no excuse.
You know what it's like though, man. If you play one of those games and you really win and you really do it, everyone's sat there screaming for 5 minutes, just thriving, going, "That was a rape! We raped them! We fucking raped them!" And everyone's going, "Yeah!" I can recall those moments, and it feels good. You're like, rape.
So that's the funny thing. That's what I always liked. You're like, well, that's what I always liked about Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
No one got that giddy about winning. It was just something that happened or did. The main thing was just lolling at people and writing pwned a lot. And that was it. And I didn't mean typing. You had to stop playing to type because there were no voice chats.
Oh no.
That was cool. The good old days. Better days, Graham. Better days.
You know what? I've not even, because I've been playing Animal Crossing. I've not even linked because there's a Graham on there. I've not linked it to my Nintendo thing, so I've got 0 friends, nothing. It can't even go online, and I'm just like, oh, I quite like this actually. It's nice. I'm just totally cut off. No one's going, "Hey, can I come to your town?" Or no.
Well, that'd be the good thing about getting him on Warzone is that none of his friends play it. But it would be a shame because that kid in Canada, it was really nice hearing him connect with someone. I think he's only about a year older. But connect with someone from a different part of the world and hear how they get along. And, I've heard them chatting about language and, how they say things and where they live and what it's like. And that's been incredible because that was always the thing. I remember when I first got online, what blew me away is I found a chat room. I don't remember the name of it now. But I was talking to people in America, in Australia, and then you bump into people and I never knew who they were because it was text chat even more so. But you kind of got to know whoever they at least made themselves out to be. And it was cool having this opportunity. So hearing him make friends with this kid across the world, and they know when each other's getting up or going to bed, or, Junior knows roughly around mid-afternoon the kid will be having his breakfast, and then they'll catch up and they'll have a chat. And that's been fantastic. I just thought that was amazing.
Yeah, and it's great. And it's one of them, like, 10 years' time, they might be, like, meeting each other in Amsterdam for a weekend of dancing around, doing plenty of stuff. Do you know what I mean? I've done that.
In
I've
10
had
years at
online
17,
friends.
are you fucking kidding me? Not a
Well,
chance.
you won't know about it.
No,
You won't know
because
about it.
yes, I will, because I'll be the one funding it. So no, that's not happening.
Now, we'll all have a
If he wants to go
UBI
to
by then,
Amsterdam,
man.
getting off his tits and doing that sort of stuff, he's going to be 21 at least and working
All
and
right,
taking care of
Maybe
his own business there with a beard on his
yeah,
face. Not
maybe
17 with
maybe
my
my
money
time
paying
scale
for
was
it.
a bit short. Yeah, all right. You get the point I was making, though.
If he's under 21, he's got to take his dad. Imagine what a buzzkill that'd be.
He's just sitting there.
Just fucked out of my head.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Day one, you're looking kind of stern, and then you've had a mushroom. You're exactly the same, but it's just there on your face. Just
Has your dad been smoking weed? No, mate, acid. He's taken a load of acid.
he doesn't know he's taken acid.
Yeah, did he know what he was having? Yeah, he asked for 4. He's really off his tits right now.
Oh man, if you're ever gonna meet the devil, it's gonna happen in Amsterdam. I tell you that. Jesus, I know, full blown atheist, vegan, like not religious at all. Just like the next morning, just going, I met the devil last night, and they fucking meant it, because that's how it manifested. He was just right there. I don't know what was going on, but there he was.
Dude, it's an hour and 23.
I know.
We're spent. We're talking bollocks as well. Like anyone could tell any different. Guys, thank you so much for spending your time with us on a Friday evening. We do hope your isolation is going very, very well and you're not yet wearing the skin of your neighbours. We'll try and come back tomorrow evening. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Similar sort of time, more than likely. Do join us. And, times are shit, but we got to say, if you'd like to help support the Trigger Warning Project, please do slip over to patreon.com/triggerwarningtv or check on the site. You can hit us up on PayPal if you'd like to support it. If you can't or simply won't, that's cool. Share the links, click like. It all helps enormously. And I think young Alex, I think he's off tonight. I think he's been poorly,
I think that's all right, because if we're putting out clips, if we're putting out live videos like almost every night, we don't. I don't think we need to be hammering clips out.
I think I told him to man up as well, though.
Oh, did you?
And he was having chest pains.
Yeah, it's just people know, don't they? Like that. But I got to say though, I was thinking about this whilst I was doing the dishes. Like, it's like I never want to ask for money at any point.
No.
I'd rather we just gave this, and we just had a Greg's logo in the bottom, and we didn't have to worry about all that. I'd prefer that, obviously, but even with my usual not wanting to ask for money, the donations we've had recently have just been fucking amazing, and like, considering the situation and everything, I've just been like, no way, man. Like,
yeah, we all keep the lights on at the studio. Keeps the lights on at the studio that we can't fucking use.
That we can't access. But it's very bright right now, I'll tell you that. Everyone tells me.
Yeah, it's always appreciated. Just like I say, any share, any mention, anything like that helps enormously. So yeah, we're going to try and get back here tomorrow night to hang out with you. If you'd like to join us, you know where we are. Just check it on social. We'll put the links up, and we'll come chat, share you guys for another while. Until then, have a good day, I guess. Hope it's not too shit. May you not run out of toilet roll, and if you do, may you just, make sure you pick the right hand to wipe your ass with. Guys, have a good one. Take care, and bye-bye.